I feel like I would like to be a comedian, but every time I sit down to write jokes, they always end up being about poop.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Kickstarter crap. Today the piece of crap that we're looking at is called Paintball Panda.
What up, motherfuckers? Welcome back to a brand new video. I just woke up 5 minutes ago and I realized something, okay? I realized something big.
Back in 2016, there was a time where YouTube really lived up to its slogan, broadcast yourself. And sure, there were many people with many different personalities creating a wide variety of genres in the space. There was actually a group of people, a group of YouTubers that really captivated the many hearts of teenagers and young adults, which created the golden era of edgy YouTube. Now, nobody may have been asking me, hey Mark, where have you been these past 7 months? Well, working. I've kind of got a new job, so I didn't really touch my editing software for a while, and I mean a while. It's been like 7 months, I think. If you think about it, it's been a while. It really has been a while, and I do apologize for not uploading for a while. I was sitting on this idea for a while. I think I just started the intro for like 5 to 10 seconds, and then I just kind of stopped. I completely stopped. I didn't even touch DaVinci, or I didn't even touch OBS until like yesterday, when one of my friends just said, "Hey, why aren't you uploading? You should upload more." And I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I should. Maybe you're right. So, you know, I literally didn't touch until yesterday. Right now, it's like 10:33 in the night. Again, I do apologize for not uploading. I'm going to try to do this at least once a month, so at least have some consistency. And even if I'm not successful at this career, which I honestly don't think I will be anyways, yeah, once again, apologies for not uploading. From the memes born in that era to the YouTubers actually gaining successful from their respective genre, it's actually a very good time to look back at fondly and go down memory lane if you are old enough to remember those days. Remember, 2016 was about 8 years ago. It really seems like a long time, but it's not. And I'm sure many others back in 2016 said the same thing about 2008, 8 years ago from that time, where YouTube was mainly just music videos and very, very small YouTubers giving their opinions on whatever topics was relevant at the time. And much like with the times in mainstream media, YouTube is in a completely new system now, where there's a whole new set of YouTubers and a whole new set of audiences where you might be too old to not understand, you know, everybody's niche. For example, I really like how IShowSpeed conducts himself. He has a really good personality, he yells a lot, he's very energetic. So for this one, I kind of have to mention the catalyst of the video, and that's going to be Filthy Frank.
I'm sorry, Franco, I'm sorry. What you say?
Now, George Miller was his real name, but in his first channel, Disaster Music, the early stages of Filthy Frank was just kind of him talking in this weird accent.
I'm going to share with you guys. As you know, school's probably started for a lot of you, and
Now, it's not until the later days of Disaster Music that he actually mastered his Papa Franco voice,
they tell people it's all about what's on the inside.
giving him that really iconic, raspy voice.
It was loud and outspoken. It's just a problem in general that we all have to deal with every day. And one of the biggest groups of people that won't shut the fuck up are, yes, vegan.
And he still is a legend to this day, even though he is now known as Joji. He made a lot of banger memes, such as 100 accurate life hacks.
Oh yeah! Do you want pearly white teeth the natural way? Now you can do it for cheap. Spray paint your teeth white. Yeah!
Weeaboos,
But this is when you have a real fucking problem.
I have a katana collection.
and even songs from his alias Pink Guy, known as Shut the Fuck Up, Kill Yourself, Rice Balls, and Fried Noodles. I think one really good charming factor about Filthy Frank is that he was so self-aware of it. It was actually very absurd and embarrassing, but it also becomes really, really entertaining, especially with the videos in context where he puts himself with his other friends Max Mofo, Idubbbz, and Anything for Views. I even showed a clip of H3H3 in the beginning of the video where Filthy Frank actually collabed with him at one point.
Oh, hey Frank, how you doing?
Fuck you! I fucking hate you!
Now, speaking of Filthy Frank, we also have Idubbbz, one of his friends, and he was actually a really popular edgelord at the time. He wasn't as post-ironic as Filthy Frank was, but one really redeeming factor of it was his ability to call people out while also making it entertaining, but also hitting the points way hard at home.
It wouldn't surprise me if Keemstar thought him and I were friends. You know, just because I follow him back on Twitter, he's probably thinking, Idubbbz referred to me as Buddy in the DMs. He must be my friend. So if he ever makes a video on me, I'm gonna say, we were friends, we were supposed to be friends. We were never friends, cunt.
One of my favorite series in YouTube of all time is Content Cop, a series where Idubbbz calls people out for their content, not so much the personality, although that is a big point as well in some videos. Now, he also made some other series that weren't exactly focused on memes, it was actually just something that he liked, for example, Bad Unboxing and Kickstarter crap. And those two series still continued by the time he created Content Cop, and if there's anything to take away from 2016 YouTube, I gotta tell you about this man. Now, Leafy's real name is Calvin, but he created, or I should say, pioneered a genre known as commentary. Now, commentary was a very popular genre in 2016 YouTube, where instead of people having a face cam on and kind of talking about it in their room, they kind of pre-record a game and do a voiceover said game and give their opinions on certain topics and certain themes. And these commentaries can be about anything and everything. People talked about other YouTubers, dramas, and even YouTube itself, the things that they were doing at the time, such as YouTube Heroes, if you guys remember that. All in all, the commentary videos were actually very entertaining at the time, but just like how things change, YouTubers gotta change as well. And there are actually very few commentary people from 2016 that are still successful and still do videos to this day. For example, Pyrocynical still has a big fan base. He does a podcast that is relatively successful, and every time he uploads a video in his main channel, it still gets quite a bit of views. He's still successful. Now, somebody in the same friend group as Pyrocynical was a Russian YouTuber named No Fuckers. He was still a small commentator at the time, and in some aspects he's still a small YouTuber to this day. He still makes videos and they still gather up quite a bit of views, especially since the Ukrainian-Russian war really escalated up. He's since moved out of Russia and actually moved to Georgia. Now, there is one honorable mention that I wanted to give, and that is towards Daniel Keemstar.
Yo, what up, party people? It's your boy Keemstar! I gotta tell you this story.
The reason he's an honorable mention and not a full mention in this video is because so many people have made videos on him, both good and bad, on YouTube. Now lastly, this wasn't exactly in edgy YouTube per se, but he was still a pretty big role model, especially in the gaming era, and that is...
Yo, what up? It's your boy Rice Flavored Gum. You can call me Brian, that's my real name, you know, because all you guys are, you know, my subscribers.
Yep, that's right, your favorite burnt sweet potato, Rice Gum. Now, I know that Rice Gum's channel and his content was geared towards children and teenagers, since his videos really consisted of just roasting other teenagers in the app called Musical.ly. Now, if you remember what Musical.ly was, it was basically TikTok, except it only had music, not really sounds. Now, to be completely honest with you, I have been sitting on this idea for about 7 months, so I really don't remember everything that happened. I did have a whole list, but I don't know where I left it, so I am so sorry, but I'm gonna have to cut the video short there. But it's good for me because I have less editing to do. If you really liked it, I appreciate it. I'm gonna at least try to do this once a month. Don't worry, I have plenty of ideas in the back of my head that I can make a reality. Well, I still have to put the work in, so thank you very much.